POV Italian Cooking, where you see cooking from my point of view. Today's kind of a special episode because what we're going to do is use my new toy that I just got, my new cooking toy. Show you, I have an Innova Sous Vide. Now, Sous Vide kind of means, I guess it means water bath. It's a French style of cooking where you put your meat and your protein and all of your basting liquids or your seasonings in a bag, and then they go in a water bath. A lot of folks, when they get the Sous Vide, they'll just use this on like a big pan or something, but I bought the Sous Vide, the POV Model C10 water bath that goes with it. So this episode, I guess, is really a combined how to cook with this and also, we'll say, a review or kind of a how-to. I used this one time last week, and I'm actually making the same chicken that I made last week, which is it's going to be a chicken with basil and bay leaf and olive oil and garlic and a little bit of lemon down in the bag, and then we're going to vacuum seal that. It's going to be incredible. It's really good. I made it for my wife last week, and my kids want it now. So let's get started. And again, this might be a little bit longer episode because we're going to look a lot at the Sous Vide. Okay, let's take a look at our ingredients for our Sous Vide chicken. Again, this is going to be Italian style Sous Vide chicken. What we're going to do is we're going to have a chicken breast. In our vacuum seal bag with our chicken, we're going to put just a pat of butter, some finely minced garlic, a bay leaf, some basil, salt, pepper, some olive oil, and a little bit of lemon juice just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. So that's our ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and do some prep and get some stuff ready, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we need to do this in our bag. So let me break away, get some prep ready. We'll be back. All right, I have everything prepared to start our chicken. Now what we're going to do is I've taken the 8-inch heat seal roll Food Saver vacuum seal bags. This is what we're going to be cooking our chicken in. I've sealed one end of the bag. See here, and I kind of trimmed it back a little bit just because that's just what I like to do with them, and the whole one time that I've made this. Now down in our bag, we want to make sure that no liquid hits the top of our bag because that could impede the seal, and it's real important to get a good tight seal. Now by vacuum sealing our food, what it does is it pulls those flavors into the meat. Now on top of being vacuum sealed, it's going to cook in the bag. So it's just going to further infuse the meat with more flavor, and I'm going to tell you, this is the most tender, juiciest chicken that you're ever going to eat. So all we do is we put a good little generous amount of olive oil down in our bag. Put a little bit more than that, like so. We take a bay leaf. We take a little bit of garlic. We take a pat of butter. And our basil, good little bit of basil because we want a nice flavored chicken. We take salt and pepper. The pepper's not the easiest thing in the world to do down in this bag. Add that down a little bit. And the last thing we do is I've got some lemon juice here. I've freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now we don't want a lot. We just want, that's probably about enough. There's probably about a teaspoon or so of the lemon juice. And again, that's just to kind of liven it up, to kind of open up the flavor. So that's it. So what we need to do, got a little bit of olive oil up here on the top of this bag. I want to make sure I kind of clean that before I vacuum seal it. So I'm going to break away real quick. Okay, I'm back. I just kind of cleaned off the olive oil off the where it might be sealing. Now all I do is I make sure I hold my bag open because I don't want the chicken to touch the sides either. And I just take my chicken breast and just drop it down in there. Now you can see I have a whole lot of bag here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this back a little bit, and then I'm going to take it over and vacuum seal it. So I'm just going to trim it like so. Try to get it straight across because if not, it's just not going to seal very good. And again, I got some olive oil up here. So I'm just try to, again, we want that to be real clean where we seal. Okay, Okay, I'm over at our vacuum sealer. We want to make sure that we set it to moist because we want it to stop when it starts sensing the liquid. So all we do, stick it up in there. Okay, there's our first bag sealed. You can see it does kind of pull some of the olive oil out of the bag. All we're going to do now is we're going to trim it right above the seal line. And this one is done, and it's time to do the next. Now again, this, by vacuum sealing it, it does a couple things. For one, it just keeps all of the liquids in there once we stick it in the sous vide, but it also is going to pull all those flavors down into the chicken. We're going to do this 5 more times. Again, it's olive oil, bay leaf, pat of butter, basil, garlic, salt, pepper. That's all there is to it. Okay, we have all of our chicken. We're making 6 breasts. We have it all in vacuum sealed bag. Again, that's olive oil, a little bit of butter, some lemon juice, a bay leaf, basil, garlic, salt, and pepper. And we're going to let that sit a little bit while we go over and take a look at our sous vide and just let this kind of marinate. Okay, I have our sous vide almost ready to go. I've got my water in my pan, the water bath as they say. Now this is the Innova Sous Vide. This is the Bluetooth Wi-Fi version. And what's really handy about this is it's got a great app that goes with it. Now, let's back up a second. Let's talk about how a sous vide works. What a sous vide is it is a circulating heater. It will heat the water to an exact temperature. It keeps the water circulating so everything in the water bath is cooked clear through end to end perfectly. It's really hard to screw up with a sous vide. Steaks are really nice in it. Chicken's really nice. Pretty much any of your proteins. You can also do root vegetables. There's all kinds of recipes out there for the sous vide. Now there's also a couple different home sous vides. From what I've read, the Innova was the best one. I read a ton of reviews. I got this. They're about $200 for the Bluetooth Wi-Fi version. Always watch for discount codes because I found a $30 code for this. So it was about we'll say $179 or $169, give or take. So let me break away a second. I need to put some more water in my water bath and grab my phone. Okay, I have all the water in my water bath up to the level it needs to be. I have my sous vide turned on. All right, the Innova app makes it really easy. I have the Bluetooth app pulled up right now, and it actually has a list of different recipes. What I always do is I just select a recipe that's similar to what I'm doing. So when you find your recipe, you just click on it, you select it, and then you hit start. You hear that beep? That means it is doing the preheat, and you can see here it says preheat started. You can see, maybe you can see, it's actually, the water is actually circulating. So what it will do is when that water comes up to temperature, it'll beep at me again. My app will alarm me that my water is ready. Now once my water comes up to temperature, I want to cook this for 2 hours. Okay, the sous vide is coming up to temperature. The water is already at about 90 degrees. I just want to come back and talk a little bit more about the sous vide. The sous vide is a French method of cooking. Some people call it condom cooking because your meat is always in a bag. Now you do not need a vacuum sealer to do this, but the vacuum sealer is the best way. So what we're going to do is I'm kind of reaching over here and grabbing my chicken. Usually you wait until your chicken comes up to temperature or your water comes up to temperature, but it's heating up pretty quick. So all you do is you just set your bags down in the water, try to keep them upright, and I'm going to short out my Fitbit here if I don't be careful. Now one thing you want to make sure that does not happen is that it gets into the jets of your sous vide. You want your chicken to your bags to sit in the back like so. Now I don't know if you need to do this or not, but last time I made this, actually the only time I've ever used the sous vide, I kind of rearrange the chicken bags every now and then just to make sure they're all heating the same. But the way that water circulates, it does a real good job of evenly heating. Now one thing I did buy, again, this is the POV, I believe it is the POV sous vide pan. The reason I bought it is a lot of folks that I read online talk about how when you're making your food, your water evaporates. Well, this has a lid on it, and you can see it's got a cutout here for the sous vide, so it fits perfect. You don't have to worry about the water evaporating on you. So this thing is set. It will beep when it comes up to temperature, and then it'll beep about 5 minutes or so. Well, actually my phone will warn me about 5 minutes or so that the food's almost done. Then what we do, we take our chicken out of the bags. We put it in a searing hot pan, just a smoking hot pan with a little bit of olive oil, brown up both sides, and that's it. So we're going to let this cook for 2 hours because these chicken breasts are kind of thick, and I wanted to let them go about 2 hours. If you have thin chicken breasts, you can probably go about an hour and a half. Again, this is going to go about 150 degrees for about 2 hours, be tender and cook clear through. So hang with us and we'll be back. It has been about 2 hours and it's time to get our chicken out of the sous vide. So this water is about 150 degrees, so it's a little bit warm. So what I've got here is I've just got a towel. Ow, ow. And we're just going to pull all of our chicken out. I'm going to go ahead and stop our sous vide. Stop. There we go. Ow. I'll fish this one out here. Water is hot. So as you can see, you probably can see this chicken looks very good. It looks like it's cooked clear through. So what I'm going to do is I am going to break away. I'm going to get all of this chicken kind of put in a bowl, and the next thing we do is we sear it real quick in a super hot pan. So I'll be right back. Okay, for the next step, all we have to do is sear this chicken. I've got it all over here in a big bowl. What I did is I did cut one piece. I wanted to make sure that it was done clear through. It's only the second time I've used this sous vide, so I just got to make sure that I'm, wanted to be sure that I have my chicken done. So I got it all sitting there. I've got this pan heating up. You want it to be really, really hot. All you want to do is to sear this chicken both sides, and it's done. Now I've got some other stuff here on the stove because I am making dinner for my family. My wife is helping me. We're making some kale, so I've kind of got a little bit another pan over here going along. So I've got a few things going on. I'm waiting for my pan to heat up. Once this gets hot, you're going to see I'm just going to kind of scrape some of the garlic and stuff off this chicken when I put it in. Boom, done. We'll be right back when the pan is good and hot. So I've got my good cast iron pan, just about hot enough. What I'm going to do here is just kind of pick some of this kale and stuff off the chicken. Oh yeah, she's hot enough. So what I'm going to do, get a few pieces in. Since I'm browning chicken, I do not want to put it on top of one another because you want it to be able to, oh, there's some water on the kale. You don't want to crowd your chicken, you want it to brown. So I'm trying to not let it touch. And we're going to probably sear it 2 or 3 minutes each side. Flip it, do the same, and that's it. You can see this is all we wanted to do was get a little bit of color on our chicken. So that piece we're going to call it done. Get our next piece and get it in. Okay, so we have our last couple pieces of chicken done. You can see we just wanted to put a little color on it. Turn my burner off. We'll get this plated up and we'll be back in a few minutes. So I have our chicken plated up. What I've done is I made a bed of creamy polenta with some chicken, and then I made in our last episode, I made some simple red sauce, and I just kind of drizzled it over with some fresh basil. The sous vide chicken, and I think that's the only way to do it. You can just literally just cut it with your fork. We'll give it a try here real quick. The polenta. My daughter's sitting just off screen. What do you think, dear?
Super delicious.
Say it louder so everybody can hear.
It's super delicious.
What do you like the best about it, sweetie?
It's creamy.
So, this chicken, I'm telling you, end to end, oh my gosh, it's so good.
She's never had polenta.
She's never had polenta before, and I think she's in love. I made a real creamy polenta. It's just, it's incredible. I love this polenta, and I'm making it with everything. The simple red sauce, really pairs well with the polenta. The basil's coming through. Get a sous vide. It's the only way to cook. Takes a little bit of time, but I'm telling you what, it's incredible. Got my kale for my garden. But at any rate, make this. It's delicious. And thank you for watching. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at POV Italian. Our email is povitalian@gmail.com. My dog's climbing my leg. Most importantly, click that subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and ciao.